Hello, everyone. A massive warm welcome back to day 12 of our 60-day spoken English podcast. Wow, Ishani, just stop for a second and think about where our listeners were 12 days ago.
It's actually mind-blowing, Sam. Think about it. You've mastered introductions, handled office small talk, survived high-pressure interviews, and even learned how to manage a crisis in a professional setting. That is a lot of growth in less than 2 weeks. Absolutely incredible.
But today, friends, we're doing something a little bit different. We are moving from the what you say to the how you say it. You see, in the world of financial freedom and high-level networking, whether you're in a boardroom in New York, a tech hub in Oslo, or a law firm in London, your presence is defined by your voice.
That is so true. You can have a dictionary full of words in your head, but if your pronunciation is off, you might still feel tongue-tied when you try to speak with a stranger. Have you ever noticed that when people speak English in the real world, it feels like the words are flying at you at 100 miles per hour?
Oh, definitely. It can feel like a shock. But the reason it feels so fast isn't just because of the speed. It's because English is a musical language. It has a rhythm, a heartbeat, and a melody. If you don't know the beat, you get lost in the song.
Today, we are going to unlock the secrets of pronunciation mastery. We're going to cover the syllable stress secret, why economist sounds different from economy. We'll look at the intonation game, how to sound interested versus sounding like a robot. We'll master silent letters and blended sounds. And finally, we'll look at the 100-mile-per-hour shortcut using gonna, wanna, and hafta to catch the rhythm of native speakers.
We are pulling these insights directly from the U.S. Department of State's linguistic notes and Ollie Richards' story learning methods. So, clear your throat, warm up those vocal cords, and let's start making some noise. Absolutely.
Let's start with a hard truth. Many students feel a shock when they try to speak English in the real world. Why? Because textbooks break English down into small nuggets of information to make it easier to learn. But in the real world, words blend together like a smooth jazz song.
Remember what we discussed about extensive learning? To improve your pronunciation, you must first learn to listen for the gist. Don't worry about every tiny sound. Instead, listen to the music of the sentence. As the sources suggest, if you insist on analyzing every single sound or phoneme, it will completely derail your progress.
Think of it like this. If you are watching a movie about a successful entrepreneur, you don't stop the film every 5 seconds to analyze the actor's shoes. Think about the story. Pronunciation is the same. When you listen extensively to stories, your brain naturally starts to pick up the patterns of sound.
Wow, once you realize that you can understand and enjoy a great amount with just the gist of the sound, the pressure to be perfect disappears. Absolutely, skipping the difficult sounds and moving forward is a mature approach to learning.
So, let's look at the first beat of this music, syllable stress. In English, not all syllables are equal. This is what I call the heartbeat rule. Let's look at a very important word from our sources, economist.
Listen to me carefully. E-con-a-mist. There are 4 syllables, but notice where the beat is. It's on the second syllable, economist. Wow, try saying that out loud with us right now. Economist.
The source tells us that this word is emphasized because it contains the new, important information in the sentence. If you put the stress on the first syllable, economist, a native speaker might actually have trouble understanding you. It sounds like a different word.
We also see this in compound nouns. When 2 words come together to act as one, the stress almost always falls on the first word. If you're living the rich dad lifestyle, you'll hear these all the time.
Let's look at some examples from our dialogues. Rush hour, you stress the rush. Bus stop, you stress the bus. Development program, the stress falls on the start of development. Birthday party, stress the birthday. Honeymoon, the stress is on the first syllable, honeymoon.
Absolutely. If you say bus stop or birthday party, you sound a bit like a robot. But if you hit that first word hard, bus stop, you immediately sound more fluent. You sound like you belong in the conversation.
And don't forget the just rule for emphasis. We can use just to emphasize a verb or adjective, like when Linda says, "I'm just glad it's over." Notice the stress on glad there. Or when Meg says, "You always did have good taste," she stresses the word did to show she's being emphatic. Wow, syllable stress is the difference between just speaking and actually communicating.
Now, let's talk about intonation. This is the melody of your voice. Ishani, did you know that your voice should go up or down depending on the type of question you ask?
It's a game changer. According to the linguistic notes, yes-no questions, questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no, usually have a rising intonation at the end.
Like this, by any chance? Voice goes up. Or, is anyone hurt? Voice goes up. Or if you're out at a fancy dinner in London, are you ready to order? Voice goes up.
But, and this is a big but, when you ask an information question starting with who, what, where, when, why, your voice should actually fall at the end.
Let's try it. Where are you off to? Voice goes down. What did they say? Voice goes down. What can I do for you today? Voice goes down.
Absolutely. Think about Jane and Helen's dialogue. Jane says, "Hi, Helen." The source notes that the I in hi is extended, hi, to show she's very pleased to see her. Then Helen replies, "Fine, thanks. And you?" Notice the rising intonation on "and you?" This shows she's genuinely interested.
Wow, if your voice stays flat, you sound bored or even rude. But if you play the intonation game and move your voice up and down like a song, you become a much more engaging person to talk to. It's a small change, but it makes a world of difference in how people perceive your brand and your confidence.
All right, let's get into the tricky stuff, the sounds that aren't actually on the page. English can be very sneaky sometimes. Take the word aisle from our supermarket dialogue. It's spelled A-I-S-L-E, but do we say the S?
Absolutely not. The S is silent. It's pronounced exactly like aisle. Wow, imagine if you tried to say aisle with an S. People would look at you like you're speaking a foreign language.
Then we have ordinal numbers. This is something my students always struggle with. Patty and Susan talk about birthdays. Aunt Mary is turning 55th on May 14th. Notice the TH sound at the end.
The source tells us that for numbers like 14th, the stress is on the second syllable, 14th. But for 40th, the stress is on the first, 40th. Practice that TH sound. It's like a little puff of air between your teeth. 14th. 15th. It's a real workout for your mouth.
Finally, let's look at word blending and colloquial contractions. In natural speech, the kind you'll hear in the USA or UK, we don't say going to or want to. We use shortcuts to match that 100-mile-per-hour speed.
Gonna instead of going to, wanna instead of want to, hafta instead of have to. Tyler says, "I'm gonna take a canoe trip." She says she's gonna be 57. Notice the source says she's going to be is almost always pronounced like gonna be.
Wait, a big warning here. The sources are clear. These are spoken forms only. They should not be used in formal writing or a professional email to your Norwegian clients. But in a conversation, absolutely use them. They help you blend your words.
For example, the phrase, "yeah, you're right," is often pronounced so fast that the words all blend together. Wow, that is the secret to sounding natural. It's about flow, not just separate blocks of sound.
Now it's time for some sound practice. This is our mimicry challenge. I'm going to say 3 sentences from our sources, and I want you, the listener, to repeat them after me. Focus on the heartbeat, that's the stress, and the melody, that's the intonation.
Are you ready? Let's go. Practice 1. Syllable stress. Dr. Smith is an economist. He just finished writing a book. Pause for the listener. Notice the stress on economist and how the word just emphasizes the timing.
Practice 2, intonation. Where are you off to? Pause for the listener. Make your voice fall at the end. Remember, it's an information question.
Practice 3, blending. I'm gonna take a canoe trip if the weather cooperates. Pause for the listener. Blend gonna and if the into one smooth, fast flow.
How did that feel? If you felt a bit silly, that's actually a good sign. Pronunciation is a bit like acting. You have to step into the role of a confident English speaker.
Absolutely. Don't worry if you don't get it right the first time. The sources even say, you don't understand? Don't worry. Just keep listening extensively, and your brain will do the rest. Your supercomputer brain is already at hard work.
We have reached the end of our Day 12 masterclass. Wow, we've covered the silent S in aisle, the heartbeat of economist, the rising tone of by any chance, and the speed of gonna.
Here is your Day 12 challenge. I want you to pick a short dialogue from our sources, maybe the one about the weather or the post office. Read it once for the gist. Read it a second time and mark the syllable stress on the big words. Then read it a third time and exaggerate the intonation. Make the highs very high and the lows very low.
Absolutely. You are doing the hard work that leads to real fluency and ultimately the financial freedom to work anywhere in the world.
Tomorrow, for Day 13, we're going to dive into a topic that everyone finds difficult, talking about your strengths and weaknesses. We'll learn how to turn a weakness into a strength using professional English. You definitely don't want to miss that.
Thank you for being here today. Keep your ears open for the music.